Well, hello, welcome to Friday's Knots Today with me, Emma Caldwell. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you're all right today. Nearly the weekend, but first, here's what's on the show today. We're going to be looking back on a campaign to save a cherished airfield on the final day before businesses must leave.
I think we shouldn't be closing down national infrastructure. We can build houses in many different places, but you can never replace an airport.
We'll have more on that in just a moment. Plus, we'll be meeting the latest drag artists vying for Nottingham's crown in this month's pageant. Today is the penultimate drag guest joining us to strut their stuff, and in a short while we'll be meeting the Mist to find out why she thinks she's got what it takes to win. Looking absolutely fabulous too. Plus later on we'll be pulling out all the stops as we hear about the Tug of War Championship coming to Nottingham later on this year. Tickets for this very unique sporting event have been released and they are free of charge. We're going to be hearing all about how you can look ahead to 4 days of strength and endurance in just a short while. And that will of course be part of a sports roundup, which also includes a defeat for Forest Netball at the Motorpoint Arena. Chelsea Pittman's side were narrowly beaten by the Birmingham Panthers last night in the first midweek match of the season. We're going to be having more on that in the second half of the show. And we're going to be hearing from a very proud parent whose son changed his outlook on life thanks to a pioneering Youth Voices project.
Every week I was getting at least a couple of phone calls from his teachers saying how much he was getting involved and just how nice it was to see everyone come out the shows and get involved. So it's really been a great experience.
All that and loads more coming up just for you. But first, and today Nottingham City Airport officially closed for good. The former RAF airfield opened back in 1929 and has long been a hub for general aviation, training and a community space too. But due to a major housing development, the site will now be shut down despite no planning application yet being secured, with campaigners and residents still vowing to save the airfield. Jack Sims has more.
The runways of Nottingham City Airport, usually alive with the sound of propellers and chatter from the cafe. But today, now silent. For 96 years, Tolton Airfield provided aviators and businesses a safe refuge. That includes its days as an RAF base, to then training a new generation of private and commercial pilots in flight schools, and acting as a refuelling site for the air ambulance and police helicopters. But in 2020, plans were submitted to Rushcliffe Borough Council to see a phased development of more than 4,000 homes. Earlier this year, Truman Aviation, the site's operator, was handed a 3-month notice by developer Vistry Homes to leave the site by today. Last month, the site's iconic cafe, Chocks Away, was the first business to turn in its wings. Then, last weekend saw the Sherwood Flying Club, which called the airfield home for 67 years, take off for the last time. We previously asked pilots at the site what the closure would mean for them. They said it leaves their love of the hobby hanging in the balance.
As pilots, it's one of the few airfields within probably an hour's drive. And there are very few airfields that have got hangarage.
I think we shouldn't be closing down national infrastructure. We can build houses in many different places, but you can never replace an airport.
Hearing about the club's closure, Rushcliffe MP James Naish said he was cross the airfield was being wound down earlier than necessary. He said Vistry could have found other ways of preparing without closing the site, and that he will continue to provide and support those who are in contact with him over the issue. Despite the closure, campaigners still continue to defend the airfield. Today, on the 80th anniversary of D-Day, the group laid a wreath to commemorate 251 paratroopers who trained at the site but never returned home. In a previous statement, a spokesperson from Vistry Homes says it has pledged to continue with the air ambulance landing agreement and that the closure will bring forward the delivery of the site. It also said its portion of housing on the land will have a positive impact on the community, creating an estimated 500 jobs, green spaces and much needed homes. But for Save Nottingham City Airport, so long as the runways remain, their fight for the airfield goes marching on. Jack Sims for Knots TV.
Thank you, Jack. Right, it's time for my favourite bit of the week as we meet the latest drag artist vying for Nottingham's crown in this month's drag pageant. It's the penultimate drag guest in our series. So far, we've met 6 fabulous competitors who all think they've got what it takes to secure victory in the pageant on June the 20th. And joining me now to talk all about their act is the Mist. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Oh, it's so fabulous. Look at that. Absolutely wonderful. So, tell us all we need to know about you, because you've been a drag artist in Mansfield for a long time, but you come to show Nottingham what you got.
Oh, Nottingham is not ready, darling. Nottingham is not ready. So yes, I started dragging in an ex-mining town in Huthwaite back in 2017, where I was 17 years old when I started. The manager did not know that, but we'll continue with that. But yes, doing the drag scene in Huthwaite is a lot different than doing it in the city.
I was going to say, was it difficult?
Yes, because in the audience you'd have approximately 2 members who are people of the LGBTQ community. So you've got to change things around, references, and just adapt to your audience kind of thing.
So how does the scene differ in, say, for example, Nottingham City Centre?
Well, I know it shouldn't make a massive difference, but your entire audience are like straight men, and sometimes manly men.
Yeah.
So they're not going to get certain drag race references or things like that. So you've really got to choose what references you're going to go for.
And now you are in Nottingham, ready to show what you've got for the drag pageant. What can we expect from your performance? I know you can't give too much away.
Yes. Well, what I'm going to do for the pageant is, well, can you imagine? No. Well, what you can always expect from the Mist performance is stunning storytelling, unexpected laughter, and a gorgeous bod.
I mean, it's fabulous. I mean, what a look as well. I mean, that's a skirt and a half, isn't it?
Oh, pull it down a little bit, just a tad.
So in terms of the drag pageant, how did you get involved? Had you been to any of the drag pageants before?
I've been a part of this scene for years, to be honest with you. I've been out in the scene here and there, but I feel like because I live a bit far away, I can't be in the scene every weekend. So that's why I feel like I've been somewhat looked over. I've had my bits here and there, but now the pageant's here, the time's here.
You are ready for it. So talk us through your look as a drag artist.
Oh, so this look is just me wanting to be a little feminine woman, you know, just little sensual me. But my aesthetic in general is very much sensual, mysterious. Come on, do it with me.
That's good. That's good. So is that where the name came from as well? The Mist?
Yes, the Mist. It's all about, you don't know what's in there.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to come out. And most of the time, what does come out is fabulous, I must say.
Fabulous, and I imagine not for this time on a Friday night.
Yes.
So in terms of the pageant, of course, we've had 6 of the wonderful competitors, and they're genuinely all been amazing.
I actually love them all.
It does seem like a really nice vibe as well.
I say, I'm assuming everyone else as well, we're all here to win.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go in and get that crown. But at the same time, in a competition setting, you can still have sisterhood, you can still be friendly. And at the end of the day, win or lose, we're going to come out with a bunch of sisters and brothers that we can perform along with for years.
That. And what would it mean to win? Because like you say, when you started, you know, in the mining town of Mansfield, it must be difficult to have become a drag performer.
Yeah.
And now to win, what would it mean to you?
Honestly, when I win, it's going to mean the world to me. Because, as I say, I've tried to have my spotlight in Nottingham for a few years now. And for some reason, I just haven't been grabbed up, if you know what I mean. So I'm not leaving anything to chance this time. I'm going in there to win.
Amazing.
And when I do, it's going to be unbelievable. Dreams come true.
And do you get nervous, or once you put yourself together, are you like, right, here I am?
Yes and no, because there will always be nerves. If you're not nervous, you don't really care. That's what I think.
I agree with that.
So it's good to have nerves, but at the same time, when you can put the lashes on, the wig on, you're ready. Let's go on that stage.
It's amazing. So preparation presumably very much started for
it's all
this.
done.
It's all done.
I
You're
don't
ready.
know how, but I managed to get it all sorted in like a month.
Very good, very good. So remind us when and where it's all taking place.
It is going to be at the Nottingham Arts Theatre on the 20th of June, 7 days before my birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday to you. And I know there are not very many tickets left. In fact, I think there's only 13 tickets left.
Yes, I've been looking at the website every week and it just keeps going down, down, down.
Amazing. I'm so pleased. Well, good luck with the
Thank you so
performance. I know
much.
you're going to be absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
today. Appreciate it. Love that. Right, in other news in Nottingham, 4 people were arrested on suspicion of drugs offences after police forced entry to a Mansfield property. Nottinghamshire Police used a warrant to enter the property in Broomhill Lane on Wednesday morning following multiple reports of drug dealing as well as drug-related crime. A small amount of suspected crack cocaine, mobile phones, potentially stolen property as well as other items were seized. 3 men aged 48, 35 and 34 as well as a 41-year-old woman were arrested on suspicion of supplying Class A drugs and police secured a temporary closure of the address. Next, and 2 men who brutally attacked men on a stag weekend in Nottingham have been locked up. Deepak Kumar and Shan Tanna were arrested minutes after officers found their victims lying unconscious in Market Street back in August 2021. 36-year-old Kumar of Ringway in Southall, Middlesex, and 21-year-old Tanna of Lansbury Drive, again in Middlesex, both denied GBH with intent and claimed that they were acting in self-defence. But a jury at Nottingham Crown Court found them guilty. Kumar was jailed for 14 years, with Tanna locked up for 7 years. Right, time for a short break now, but don't go anywhere because we are going to be hearing from a very proud parent whose son changed his outlook on life by taking part in a Police Youth Voices project. Plus, we're going to be hearing more about the tug of war competition that is coming to Nottingham. All that on the way next. Hello, welcome back to Friday's Knots Today with me, Emma Caldwell. I hope you're all right today. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's what's happening in Knots Today. First, and waiting times at Kingsmill Hospital's A&E are reduced by moving less seriously ill patients from trolleys to chairs. The Fit to Sit plan was introduced in January as part of a plan to tackle overcrowding and improve patient flow. It involves medics identifying which patients need assessment but don't need a trolley, with a separate room set aside to hold 19 people. A Sherwood Forest Hospital's board meeting this week heard the project has led to waiting times falling by about 40 minutes on average. Next, and an ageing CCTV system in Mansfield Town Centre will be upgraded because it's still using Windows 7 software, which came out in 2009, 16 years ago. Mansfield District Council says the £215,000 upgrade will bring in new software to prevent a total systems failure. The spending will include replacing outdated cameras, servers and control room equipment, and comes after the council said the current system is in a vulnerable state to potential cyber-related attacks. Moving on now, and a Nottingham mum says she has overwhelming pride in her son after he changed his outlook on life thanks to a new project aimed at promoting youth voices. The Youth Listening Project, which was designed to connect with local young people to hear directly from them about how crime and antisocial behaviour impacted their daily lives. It's given young people a platform to share their voices with the police. And for Paula Lydia Moore from Clifton, it's been vital to supporting her Year 10 son, Kaiden. Take a look.
Paula, Lidamore, Kaiden's mum. He's like growing confidence and putting himself out there and learning himself as a person and who he wants to be and how he wants to be. And it's amazing to see, and it puts a smile on my face every day. I'm so proud of him. Every week I was getting at least a couple of phone calls from his teachers saying how much he was getting involved and just how nice it was to see everyone come out the shells and get involved. So it's really been a great experience to be watching him come home and take part in it.
I'm Luke Parmenter, Collective Impact Manager from the Centre for Student and Community Engagement at Nottingham Trent University. We knew that young people speaking to other young people generate insights which we wouldn't have got from elsewhere. But the secondary benefit, if you like, is the impact on the young people and their leadership. We can go out and consult with young people, we can ask them what's important to them, we can ask them about what's special about their community, we can ask them what we need to do differently. But that's quite a passive way of doing things, and quite often we go there and we extract that information and then we might go away and never speak to them again. With a project like this, we're able to build relationships with them, we're able to train them to become listeners themselves and be critical. And our aim really is to leave a lasting impact, and the legacy of this work is not just to lean on them to help us to understand, but also to enable them to become future leaders.
The participation and the feedback we have received from the young people involved in this project has been absolutely outstanding and will contribute to creating safer streets and public spaces in Bulwell and Clifton.
How incredible. Time for your sport now, and we're starting with netball after Nottingham Forest were narrowly defeated in their first midweek match of the season. Chelsea Pittman's side took on the Birmingham Panthers at the Motorpoint Arena on Thursday and came away with nothing after the Panthers secured a 75 to 69 point victory. It's the side's 7th defeat of the season, with their final match at home to Leeds Rhinos on June the 15th. Into cricket now, and the Blaze got going in their first of 2 Vitality Blast matches today when they took on Essex in Derby. The match got going from 3 p.m. and was the first of 2 games this weekend, with Somerset visiting Trent Bridge on Saturday too. They went into the weekend looking to build on their strong start to the competition, including last week's victory over Lancashire. And it's time to talk about a completely different sport now, and that is the sport of tug of war, because the Tug of War Championship is coming to Nottingham this September. It's a 4-day event running from the 4th to the 7th and will offer people the chance to watch an international sporting event for free. Tickets are free for this, and joining us now to tell us more is the aptly named Alan Knott. Alan, thank you so much for joining us today. So what can you tell us about the Tug of War Championship?
Well, since I came on your show back in January, I think it was originally going to be held as the European Championships, but since then we had TWIF Congress. The rules have been updated now so that World Championships are now held annually. So this championship will now be a World Championship. So hopefully that will bring a few more teams over to the event. And as you said there, we've launched our tickets now. People can book tickets now for free online, and they can do so via our website, which is tugofwar2025.com, and we very much encourage everyone in the area to come along and support the event.
So when you say this is now a World Championship, where are people coming from and coming to Nottingham for the Tug of War Championship?
All over, really. So we're going to have teams from South Africa coming along, United States, Chinese Taipei, and so on. So we'll know exactly who's coming along to take part in a sort of few weeks' time when everyone's had their qualifiers or selected their national teams, or however each association chooses their teams to represent. And obviously we'll have teams from England taking part as well, and we have our national championships taking place in a couple of weeks' time, and the winning teams from that event will be selected to represent England in Nottingham.
This is very, very cool, and we love it, obviously, when things are happening in Nottingham, and especially, on an international scale as well. How did Nottingham become like the epicentre of tug of war?
Well, we actually held it a European Championships in Nottingham back in 1973, I believe.
Wow.
Obviously, a lot before my time, but basically, when we're putting forward bids for these events, you need sort of places that have large accommodation campuses, if you like, and universities obviously offer that in outside of term time. So you make contact with various different venues, and Nottingham came up with everything that we needed in terms of facilities and accommodation. So here we are.
It is a pretty brilliant place to come. So for people that are going, presumably, obviously, because it's taking place in Nottingham, you're expecting a lot of people from Nottingham to come and spectate. And as we said before, the tickets are free. So it's a really good opportunity to see some international sport. What can people expect if they're going along to watch?
Well, what they'll see, there'll be obviously various different weight categories on offer. So, teams aren't relying on weight or anything like that. So we have, as you can see from the pictures that are being flashed up on the screen, we have men's competitions, ladies competitions, and also mixed competitions as well. So teams will have an equal number of men and women on the team, and we also have junior categories and under 23 categories. So it's something that can appeal to everyone of all ages. Really, you get to see people of all ages competing.
And where do the teams come from? Because I've seen some tug of war happen. You know, we have a tug of war competition within our school, but where are the teams? Where do they come from? Are they like pub teams or just, you know, the sporting teams that maybe I just haven't been aware of?
Yeah, I mean, you probably find that sort of a way into the sport for a lot of people has in the past been, you know, pub teams or social clubs and so on. And we also have a lot of young farmers clubs that come into the sport that way. And also as well, there's the military circuit as well. So a lot of army regiments will have a tug of war team, and the army itself has an army representative team, if you like, that competes in the civilian circuit as well. So there's sort of lots of different ways you can get into the sport, really.
And will there be any opportunity there for people to have a go, or is it just as purely spectating?
It's purely spectating at the moment. I mean, we may possibly run some sort of come and try on the sort of day before, possibly as a business competition or something like that. We sort of haven't worked the details out on that one, but you know, if there is an opportunity, we will see what we can do.
I love that. So, Alan, remind us when and where it's all taking place and how we can get our hands on those free tickets.
Well, it's taking place at the University of Nottingham's Highfield Sports Complex. It's the 4th to the 7th of September. So the first day of competition is the Thursday, the 4th, and Friday the 5th. They're the club competitions, and then on the Saturday and Sunday, they're the international competitions. So it'll be England against all the various different countries that are coming along to take part.
Amazing.
And each competition day starts at 9 o'clock and runs through the day. So once you've booked your tickets, you can go along at any point in the day and come and spectate.
Sounds fabulous. Alan, we've run out of time, but it sounds absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for coming and sharing that with us today. Love it. Right, elsewhere on the channel, and tonight we're going to be airing the latest episode of the Notts TV debate. Francis Finn is back, and here's a little taster of what you can see.
How badly does it need it? How clean is Nottingham? I'll start with you, Sangeeta, because you're plonked right there with the deli. How clean is it?
It feels like the day of cleaning that they've done might have been the only day they've ever used to clean Nottingham. In the 20 years we have been around, I think this is probably at this pinnacle of the messiest, the hardest to see and the hardest to cope with it's ever been.
I acquired some graffiti on the shutters on my shop, so we're going to spend money getting that removed. You know, there are people sleeping on the street on Maid Marian Way. I think it's catastrophic would be the best way of describing it.
When I come to the city centre, I would say it is pretty dirty. What I would say though is maybe once a month, our staff go and litter pick out in the area where we are, and they love to do it, and actually it makes a contribution to cleaning up the city. So I would say if we want to clean a city, we need to own it between all.
Right, it's time for a look at your picture of the day. This one of some ducks in a row was taken by Captured by Coops over on Insta. Love that. Thank you very much for that. Weather-wise now in the weather. It was a really wet start to the day, wasn't it? Very wet school run, but those grey clouds have cleared up to welcome a sunny end to the day. Highs tonight of 16 and lows of 10. There is some more of that rain heading into Saturday with lower temperatures too. Highs of 15 and lows of 9, but it's slightly sunnier on Saturday, beg your pardon. Highs of 17 and lows of 11. And that is the end of the show. Thank you so much, as always, to our brilliant guests today. We are going to be back on Monday to do it all over again for another week. But until then, have an amazing weekend. I'm Emma Caldwell. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.